You are listening to Organize with Grace podcast, episode 20. What to do when you don't feel like being thankful this Thanksgiving 2020. With Thanksgiving in the horizon, I am finding myself having a hard time or just simply don't feel like being thankful. You might be like, oh, how dare you not be thankful? There's so much to be thankful for. Hear me out here. Hear me out. Yes, it's been especially the past 2 weeks that I have been having a hard time with work. It feels like an avalanche of work that I have. It's never ending. It's that never ending cycle of email. It's like playing whack-a-mole with email. You know, you delete a few and then 20 more pop up. So it's just been really frustrating for me personally with work. And as this Thanksgiving 2020 is coming, I am finding a lot more things to complain about than to be thankful for. And I'm just being bare with you guys, being honest. And at the end of this podcast, I'm hoping that the insight that that I found will be helpful to you. So what I was saying was that I am having a hard time being thankful. I have a hard time finding things to be thankful for. I have a job that pays the bills, but I particularly don't like. And then this pandemic has turned life upside down for us, making it even more overwhelming and stressful. And I've already been feeling burnt out even before March 2020, and this just really added to it. And the kids are hanging in there, but they seem to have a really tough time with virtual learning. It's all a learning process for all of us. I have a 2-year-old who goes to daycare, so I don't yet have that experience that you mamas may be going through right now. But I have my own concerns with him being at daycare, but I had to get past that so that mama can stay sane and do some work while he's at daycare. Adding to the list of, why should I be thankful when the house is in shambles? Most of our routines have gone out the window. In addition to that, I personally was faced with multiple deaths of loved ones. I have a cousin whose wife passed away. She was only 34 years old, and it was a sudden passing, as well as a longtime coworker who was literally months away from retirement. And she passed away at the beginning of November. Another friend who has a longtime friend who also passed away in his, I believe in his early 60s. So I'm piling all of these things up, and I am not feeling particularly thankful because of these things, because of these circumstances. I think just last night it was sort of a breaking point for me. And breaking point meaning I broke down, and it was really unexplained tears. I'm thinking now that it was probably just bottled up emotions of the past couple of months that I have been holding on to, and I could not stop crying. I couldn't stop crying. And of course, eventually I did. I had to. Had to get ready for um, a Bible study that I was involved in virtually. But then this morning, I was able to, in my quiet time, think about all of these things once again. And you know what? It's still hard. It's still hard to be thankful when you have all these things in your mind. But I want to tell you what I found that I will try myself, especially during these next few days, as we are going to be having Thanksgiving, many or majority of us in a very different way, much smaller gathering, things like that. What I found is that I had to give myself grace to go ahead and cry it out. I am human after all, and we human beings have these emotions. And just because we feel angry or stressed out or overwhelmed or frustrated, we think that these emotions are really, really bad. They're not necessarily a bad thing. We feel them. Now, when we begin to act on these emotions, then that's where we get in trouble. With all of these things that I'm saying is, you may also be having a hard time finding what to be thankful for. And I feel you, sister, because there's not a whole lot these days to be. But what I'm finding is, I, after that cry I had just last night, I was able to get past the emotions. And sometimes that's hard. You know, we have our own different levels of trying to get past the emotions. But do remember that emotions come and go, and we women are just that. That's how we're created. We're very emotional beings, and that is, I consider that um a blessing and a curse, I guess, at the same time. But overall, it is a blessing. It's what makes us human. And then once I got past the emotions, I did look at the truth. Sometimes I want to roll my eyes though when someone tells me, or when I hear, well, count your blessings. And in my mind and in my heart, I'm like, I don't feel like it. But what I did learn though, that even if it's hard, I did it anyway. Because when you do something anyway, you do get past the emotions, because you're not focusing on that emotion. Instead, you're focusing on the truth. And what you focus on grows. So let's look at that. What is the truth? Well, the truth is that despite the hardships, we are able to wake up in the morning and get on with our day. So that's a plus, and that's a cause for thankfulness. And even if I don't particularly like my job, I can say that I'm thankful for it, because it does pay the bills. If it's tough to think big with what you're thankful for, start tiny. Like, I'm looking at my coffee right now. I'm thankful for my coffee. I mean, I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but I think that when we start small, and we continue to be thankful for things. For me, I'm always thankful to God for what He provides for me. And I believe that the more we focus on that, on being grateful, the better. Sure, circumstances might not change. I may be at my job 5 years from now. I hope not. Maybe I'll find something else. But anyway, um, the circumstances may be the same. But my message to you is, when you don't feel like it, when you don't feel like being thankful, do it anyway. Challenge yourself to do it anyway. Write it down, say it out loud, do whatever you got to do to get your mind out of the all the dread and all the things that are not helping you be thankful. And I can think of a lot. I can think of a lot of things to focus on. That why would you be thankful, knowing that you have loved ones who have passed away at such a young age, as shocking as the passing was. Why? And it's easy to get caught up in our emotions. And I'm not trying to minimize the things that you may be going through. It could be a lot. It could be a situation that you probably can't bear anymore. And you know what? Also, when we think of things to be thankful for, and we start to compare our situation, I've heard this many times with friends, with really with women in general. We would make a comment like, well, at least, well, let me put it this way. Well, I'm having a hard time, but I don't know how Susie over here, I should be more thankful because Susie over here has 5 kids and I only have 2. And what am I complaining about? No, don't do that. Don't compare. I know that you're comparing so that you are hoping that you'll see your problem as not that big a deal, because you don't have as many kids as your coworker does, and you should be grateful. But no, don't do that. You have your own level of hardship, your own level of stress. Don't minimize it just because someone else has more responsibilities, or at least you see them as having more responsibilities, um, just because they have more kids than you. Going back to my main point. So, this is what I'm doing for myself, and I hope that it helps you too. That I admitted, yes, I don't feel like being thankful this Thanksgiving. I don't feel like there's a whole lot to be thankful for. But the truth is, when I really sit down, there is. So, admitting that I don't feel like it, I go ahead and write a list of the things to be thankful for, to thank God for them anyway, getting past the feelings. I hope that this helps you, and I hope that this gives you some type of relief or grace during this time, because maybe you are feeling guilty that you have been really complaining a whole lot about how things are going, and um, you're not particularly being gracious or grateful. We're in this together. I would say go ahead and reach out. Reach out, and there is no shame. We're all going through it. What I have been doing is reaching out to my friends, reaching out to my coworkers, letting them know, hey, I'm feeling stressed out. And I wanted to reach out because I'm also thinking about you. And instead of wallowing in this feeling, I want to reach out to you guys and ask you how you're doing. How are you doing? And what can I pray for you? And it really did get me out of that mindset of woe and overwhelm. Like I said, it doesn't mean that my situation changed this morning. I still have to do all this work. But I know the truth, and it's good to give thanks anyway. So, my friend, I hope that this episode was valuable to you as you are getting ready or not ready for Thanksgiving. I don't even have a whole lot of plans of like, oh, what to prepare, and I don't cook. So I do depend on my other family members to do the cooking. I do the ordering, which I already did. Anyway, and I want to say have a happy and safe Thanksgiving, and make sure that you write down these little blessings. Even if you don't feel like it, do it anyway and see where it goes. And if you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to or don't feel like talking to anyone, hey, I'm here. I feel you. And you can contact me. I haven't been a whole lot on social media, but I do check my messages to see if anybody messages me. I'm on Instagram at Organize with Grace, and on Facebook, Organize with Grace FB. And you can also email me at grace@organizewithgrace.com. So there's multiple ways to contact me. Let me know if this episode was helpful for you, and I hope that it provides you with encouragement as we face this coming Thanksgiving. And let me know how you're doing. And if you would be so willing, if you have a few minutes, please leave a review on iTunes so that other working moms can find this podcast, and we can create a community of working moms who support one another and encourage one another as we go through this season of life. And again, happy Thanksgiving, and I will talk to you again soon.